the international scene, impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol is arrested after weeks. These and more coming your way soon, to stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Wednesday represented President Bola Tinubu as special guest of honor at the National Arcade venue of activities climaxing the 2025 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day Parade in Abuja. The Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration is an annual event organized by the Ministry of Defense to commemorate the country's fallen heroes who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of humanity during the First and Second World Wars, the Nigerian Civil War, peace support operations around the world, as well as various internal security operations. Vice President Shettima, led by the Commander Guards Brigade, represented President Tinubu, who is currently in United Arab Emirates, for the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. Tinubu departed Abuja last Saturday to participate in the 2025 edition of Sustainability Week taking place in Abu Dhabi. Dignitaries including the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, the Chief Justice of the Federation Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, Ministers of Defense FCT and representative of diplomatic community, Chiefs of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, Service Chiefs and Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetukun all laid wreath. The solemn event held in honor of the fallen heroes. Other dignitaries who attended the event include Secretary to the Government of the Federation George Akume and members of Federal Executive Council. Now to Oyo State. Every January 15th is set aside as a day to remember our heroes past and honor their memories in defending the nation and sustaining unity and peace. From Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, Galaxy TV correspondent Segun Falomo tells us more on how the day was celebrated.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has pledged to provide more support to families of fallen heroes. Makinde gave this pledge during the grand finale and laying of wreaths of the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration held at the arcade ground of the Government House, Agodi, Ibadan. He stressed that his administration will ensure that families of fallen heroes live a bearable life. The governor used the opportunity of the event to appreciate and commend service commanders, men and officers of all security agencies operating in the state for their dedication in securing the state. He, however, implored the people of the state to always cooperate with the security operatives by providing them with useful and correct information when necessary.
Widows and the children are left behind. So in Oyo State we will continue to do that, to remember them. They pay the supreme price to ensure that we remain one country and safe and secure. And in terms of security in Oyo State, I cannot thank the GOC and our service commanders enough. They are supporting this administration to maintain an environment where economic activities can thrive.
Earlier in his remarks, the chairman of the Nigerian Legion Oyo State Command, Julius Ogunkojo, stressed on the need to boost the morale of soldiers through required benefits and living wage. Ogunkojo called on government and well-meaning Nigerians to come to the aid of ex-servicemen for better living.
The true significant or important of it is just to celebrate the life of the fallen hero and to commemorate the family they left behind and to be a moral booster to the serving one of the nation. That's why the federal government has made it possible that every 15th of January we should have the final parade of this event.
From Ibadan, Segun Falomo reporting for Galaxy TV News.
And in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, Governor Dakwa Abiodun has emphasized that Nigeria will always remember contributions of our fallen heroes and will do everything in its power to support and cater for the families they left behind. The governor made this known at the parade and laying of wreath in honor of fallen heroes for 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day at the Arcade Okemosan, Abeokuta, Ogun State. He assured that Nigerians would continue to support the families of soldiers who have paid the supreme sacrifice and those with lifetime injuries in the service of our country by donating towards their upkeep. The governor, however, stressed that by having a united nation, the effort of the nation's fallen heroes will not be in vain.
All those who have laid their lives as a sacrifice to protecting our dear nation from either external or internal conflicts. We don't only remember them because they have paid the supreme price, but we also remember those that they left behind, both their widows or their widowers. And what I have always said is that we should not wait for a day like this.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. Just stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with Thoughts on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with Thoughts on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. And to other stories, the Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, has dismissed reports of alleged extravagant spending by the board in its 2025 budget proposal. Speaking in Abuja, Oloyede clarified that claims about exorbitant amounts spent on fumigation, meals and training were grossly misrepresented. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that he explained the total expenditure for fumigation across JAMB offices nationwide in 2024 was less than ₦1 million, while the proposed allocation for 2025 remains modest. Similarly, he refuted allegations of extravagant spending on training, noting that funds earmarked for such activities cover essential expenses for over 10,000 examiners and invigilators involved in the national examinations.
Security had been outsourced. You also know that cleaners had been outsourced. In all the states of the Federation, we have 580 security men and cleaners. Where would their salaries come from? The least paid police officer, least paid of the security officers will collect 30,000, which is the minimum. This minimum wage had gone to 70,000. I didn't make it so.
The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Lateef Fagbemi, has announced the recovery of over $110 million in assets from various countries, including $52.88 million tied to former Petroleum Minister Daisy Alison Madueke, Speaking during the 2024 Budget Defense and 2025 Proposal session with the House Committee on Justice, chaired by Honorable Lumide Oshoba, Fagbemi highlighted efforts to develop standardized templates for agreement to assist state government in mitigating risks associated with contract reviews. Fagbemi emphasized lessons learned from the P&ID case, stressing the need to engage qualified legal experts with specialized skills for commercial transactions. He assured that measures are in place to ensure proper vetting of agreements and clarified that the national government remains responsible for arbitration involving subnational entities with indemnity mechanisms in place for liabilities. Honorable Oshoba commended the ministry for achievements such as the Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy and the legal victory in the P&ID case, which safeguarded national assets.
We made tremendous progress in the international asset recovery, and over the period secured the return of over $110 million from our recovery efforts with various countries. Efforts are also being made in the area of advancing legal and judicial reforms and strengthening the legal frameworks for trade and investment promotion, among other legal interventions. In the Federal Ministry of Justice, we have developed something like a template.
I've put legal services 4.6 billion in 2024. We won't get to 2025. We don't want to see that, because now, just looking at 2025 already, you have legal services 3 billion. Without any breakdown of these legal services, we as a parliament appropriate money to you, and we don't expect you to now be the one to appropriate money after we have appropriated money. This, which is what you're saying you do. You basically now decide that, okay, I have 4.6 billion for legal services. Now I can take out of that 4.6 billion and put it as local travel. I can take it and put it as international travel.
Now to security, a joint security team comprising the Anambra State Police, military and other security agencies have neutralized 5 suspected kidnappers believed to be members of a suspected armed secessionist gang in the Rumba North Local Government area of Anambra State. In a statement by the State Police Command spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga made available to newsmen, said the team raced down the criminal camp and recovered 4 undetonated improvised explosive devices, 2 AK-47 assault rifle, 1 pump-action gun, as well as other incriminating items. The killing of the suspects and the recovering of the items is coming barely a week after the rescue of 4 Reverend Sisters who were abducted by gunmen. The Anambra State Police Commissioner, C.P. Nango Bono, seeks the cooperation of the people in the area for a patriotic involvement to take back the space and deny criminal elements the space they use to cause tensions in the state. Operatives of the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Mosu Bayelsa State have paraded 2 suspects and a total of 10 weapons, including an AK-56 assault rifle in Brass Local Government area of Bayelsa State. The commanding officer, Navy Captain Ifeanyi Chukwu Mabuku, made this known while briefing journalists after raiding a illegal refinery site in Kamsen, Brass. Navy Captain Ifeanyi Chukwu stressed that a dawn attack led to the arrest of the suspects.
Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, Admiralty Medal, flagged off Operation Delta Sanity 2 on 30th December 2024 in continuation of the mandate of Operation Delta Sanity. And I'm glad to state this morning that following credible intelligence, Forward Operating Base for Mosu planned and launched a dawn attack at a Pirates/Sea-Robbers camp at Fununu in Brass Local Government area of Bayelsa State on 11th January 2025. Prior to assessing the camp on the day of the assault operation, we had an exchange of fire for over 30 minutes with the criminals before they succumbed to our superior firepower and took to their
One criminal element to desist from the criminal act or face the full wrath of the law.
To also use this opportunity to warn other pirates, sea robbers, kidnappers, crude oil thieves, and other criminal elements operating within Nigeria's maritime environment to desist from their acts of criminality, as the Nigerian Navy is poised to deal with them ruthlessly.
Now to other stories, the ruling All Progressives Congress in Edo State have condemned Wednesday's shooting outside the Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal venue in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Chairman of the party in the state, Jared Tembe, in a statement blamed armed supporters of the immediate past governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, for shooting sporadically to create the violent scene as the tribunal commenced hearing. According to him, residents of Benin City, regardless of political affiliation, must condemn the sporadic shooting allegedly by the PDP, which made people scamper for safety. He warned that violence has no place in the state, hence the need for security agencies to ensure that those who carried out the shootings are apprehended. Meanwhile, as at the time of filing these reports, gunmen were still shooting sporadically along the road leading to tribunal without police presence. The National Assembly has been advised to halt deliberations on tax bills currently before it and engage in more consultations to ensure the reform promotes national unity and balanced development. The coalition of Northern Group student wings at a town hall meeting on the bills admitted that there is need for a fair tax system that ensures no region is marginalized in the pursuit of economic growth. In a communique issued at the end of the meeting and signed by Ademo Ibrahim Galadima, the coordinator of the wing, emphasized the need to embrace the opportunity for reform in other aspects of national coexistence, such as reduction of the cost of governance and improvement in government interventions to the poor and downtrodden. The group maintains that the Nigerian tax reform bill is more than just a piece of legislative proposal, but a statement of collective ambition for a prosperous and equitable future. Now we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to Foreign News. On the Foreign News today, Yoon Suk-yeol has become South Korea's first sitting president to be arrested after investigators scaled barricades and cut through barbed wire to take him into custody. Yoon, who is 64, is being investigated on charges of insurrection of a failed martial law order on December 3rd that plunged the country into turmoil. He has also been impeached by Parliament and suspended, but will only be removed from office if the Constitutional Court upholds the impeachment. However, Dawn's dramatic arrest on Wednesday brings to an end a weeks-long standoff between investigators and his presidential security team. Investigators from the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials failed to arrest him on January 3rd after being locked in a 6-hour standoff with his security detail. But just before dawn on Wednesday, a much larger team of investigators and police arrived at his residence in central Seoul, armed with ladders to climb over buses blocking its entrance and bolt cutters to remove barbed wire. Other officers in the arrest team, which numbered around 1,000, scaled walls and hiked up nearby trails to reach the presidential residence. After several hours, authorities announced that Yoon had been arrested. In the 3-minute video released just before his arrest, the 64-year-old leader said he would cooperate with the investigators while repeating previous claims that the warrant was not legally valid. On Wednesday afternoon, investigators said Yoon had remained silent throughout questioning. Yoon's lawyers has said his arrest was illegal because the CIO, as an anti-corruption agency, has no power to investigate the insurrection allegations against Yoon. They also claim the warrant was issued by the wrong jurisdiction.